October 2nd, 2014, from Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. It was the ALDS as the American Central Division champions. The Detroit Tigers went to Baltimore to face the AL Eastern Division champion Orioles. And what a game this was, as it was a close game for the first 7 innings. That was until the bottom of the 8th when things got really ugly as the Orioles put up 8 in the bottom of the 8th. Let's look at how things got scored. So Nelson Cruz homered in the first inning with Markakis on base, and that made it 2-0 Orioles. Then in the second inning, to lead off things, Victor Martinez got a home run to make it 2-1, and then J.D. Martinez got a home run, and it was tied up at 2-2. Then in the bottom of the second, Nick Markakis singled, which scored Ryan Flaherty to make it 3-2. So it was a tight game all the way into the 7th inning, and J.J. Hardy homered to make it 4-2 Orioles over the Tigers. So then through 7 innings, it's 4-2. Then in the top of the 8th, Miguel Cabrera scored a home run, as it was now 4-3 as he cut the Orioles' lead to just 1 run. So now it was the bottom of the 8th, and this is where the Orioles just blew this one wide open. Things got to start off with Adam Jones reaching base on an error by the shortstop Romaine as Diaz scored, and that made it 5-3. Then Nelson Cruz singled and Jones scored, so it was 6-3. So then Flaherty singled and Cruz scored, and that made it 7-3. Then Hundley would ground out to short, and Pearce scored, and that made it 8-3. Then Schoop doubled, and Hardy and Flaherty scored to make it 10-3. Then Diaz doubled, and Schoop and Markakis scored, and that made it 12-3. So the Orioles scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 8th as they put the nails in the coffin, as this game was over. The final score was 12-3. For the Orioles, Nelson Cruz was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, although he did strike out twice. Pearce was 2 for 4, so was Markakis and Diaz. Markakis had an RBI, Diaz had 2 RBIs. Hardy had an RBI with that home run. He was 1 for 3. He also had a base on balls. Flaherty was 1 for 3. He also had a base on balls as well. So Cruz, Hardy were the 2 home runs getters for the Orioles. And Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and Miguel Cabrera all had home runs for the Tigers, but that was their only way they scored. Was those 3 solo shots. It's the only points they put on the board. Scherzer was doing okay through the first 7. Not really so much. Of course, he let things get out of hand in the 8th. His final line was through 7.1 innings pitched. He let up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and he had a base on ball. He struck out 6, but he let up 2 home runs. And both Chamberlain, well, all 3, Chamberlain, Soria, and Koch all let up runs as each reliever for Detroit got an earned run. Soria had 4 earned runs against him. Tillman only pitched 5 innings, but he actually did pretty decent, especially in comparison. He only had 2 earned runs, 4 hits, and he actually got 6 strikeouts in those 5 innings and let up the 2 home runs. His line was kind of similar to Scherzer's, but the bullpen did a really excellent job for Baltimore. Miller, O'Day, Britton, and Hunter shut things down. Only O'Day let up the 1 home run there to Miguel Cabrera. But other than that, Miller, Britton, and Hunter didn't let anything by him. As the Baltimore Orioles get up in this series to take the 1-0 lead after 1 game. So the final score, Baltimore 12, Detroit 3.